Hey guys, it's me Arthur, and you're watching How to Draw Creepy Creatures. Now, I'm sorry I haven't posted in a while, just that I got really distracted by other projects. While in quarantine, this is all horrible, all this stuff that's going on, but I've had time to, do other stuff that I've been interested in, get into my writing and everything, yeah, but I didn't want to forget about you guys, so I thought I would, make another episode today. Now, I was thinking about different creatures I wanted to do, and so after a little bit of research, I came up with one that I hadn't thought of in a long time that seemed very much appropriate. Uh, I wanted to teach you guys to draw Pesta. Now, for those of you who don't know what Pesta is, it is not a delicious Italian spaghetti sauce. No, the real thing is anything but appetizing. Pesta, in medieval folklore, is a spirit that takes the form of either a beautiful young woman or a hideous undead hag. Anyway, Pesta is associated with the Black Plague, and she brings it wherever she goes. If she appears on your doorstep holding a rake, then only some of your family will die from the disease. If she appears holding a broom, she's come to sweep the souls of everyone in your house. Now, Pesta is thought to be loosely based on malaria, the Greek goddess of disease, as her name implies. It's actually her. This particular goddess is where we get the name for the disease malaria from. But anyway, you might be thinking, okay, so maybe considering everything that's going on, doing an episode like this and talking about this might be a little bit insensitive. But the reason that I chose this is that stories like this actually help people by personifying something scary that's going on in your life that you don't have any control over, making it into a monster that you can imagine actually vanquishing in your mind. It helps. It's how society has coped with these problems for thousands of years. Just like when the yellow fever was taking over America, even during the outbreak in the early 20th century, legends of vampires resurfaced. They wanted a monster that they could blame for the disease, and Pesta is no different. There's something oddly cathartic about sitting around and telling ghost stories like this and talking about these types of monsters and evil spirits and everything like that, because it's just what people do to cope with bad things that happen in the world. It makes it into like a fun sort of sitting around a campfire telling a ghost story, and makes you forget about the bad things that are going on around you. And this will be over soon. I mean, yes, people are being affected by the coronavirus, but on the other hand, we're making strides in medicine. We're closer to a potential vaccine within the next month or year and a half. The social distancing appears to be working, so it's not completely hopeless. This is going to go away eventually, and most of us are probably going to be okay. So, without further ado, let's get into it. I'm going to start with a basic human shape. Now, none of the legends or descriptions specifically mention Pesta as wearing a plague mask. However, I like to add one simply because, first of all, it looks like a raven, which is a harbinger of death, and also the plague mask has become so synonymous with that time period, it would seem like a shame not to have her wearing one. Now, I couldn't decide if I wanted her to be holding a broom or a rake, so I thought it'd be kind of interesting and creepy if she was holding both, like she hasn't made up her mind. Now I decided to do kind of like a tight-fitting leather bodice around her dress, kind of because it accentuates her thinness, her skeletal frame, kind of like just sort of like a thing around the middle to cinch the waist a little bit, gives her a very creepy, corkscrewy type look. I'm also going to do kind of long, raggedy sleeves that look like they've just been torn, shredded with the elements. Kind of do a little bit of detail on her clavicles. It gives her chest a very sunken in, malnourished look. Kind of loose, raggedy stitching on the bodice. I'm actually going to make the handle of the rake broken, kind of like it's like she had it in her grave with her and she used it to break out. When doing the broom, you kind of want it to look old, so kind of do like some loose bristles, broken and sticking out. Now I'm actually going to use kind of a thicker outlining marker, not because I usually do that. I usually prefer thinner markers, but I made them thick, this one thicker, so that it would show up on camera more easily. Now I'm using a dark gray marker with kind of a charcoal gray, almost black marker to represent the leather. You kind of want to do some lighting effects on there, kind of just to show where it's shining in some places or where it's just really dark. You kind of get the hang of it once you practice it a little while. Huh, that's weird, guys. It just had a blackout. It's a little creepy. Oh! What is going on? That was close. I was beginning to think we might have angered the spirits there. Okay, gonna use a slightly darker marker than the one I used on the dress to do the shadows. Remember, the dress has a lot of layers and tatters, so we want to get really detailed with the shadows. Now we're going to do the shadows directly under her dress, kind of just draw in horizontal lines. Now let's start doing the shadows of the rake on her dress. Okay, I think that just about wraps it up. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and check out my other videos on YouTube. Feel free to comment if you have any suggestions or questions about the show. Also, if you want to see my other artwork, you can find me on Instagram at Cthulhu is my homeboy with underscores instead of spaces. And anybody who finished a lesson on the show and would like to show off your artwork, you send to me. As long as you give me your permission, I'll show off on the show with your name so that everybody knows that you did it. Thanks so much for watching, you guys, and goodbye.